Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey Vince, fuck off. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Vince McMahon is no more. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Endeavor kicked him out. Thank you, Slim Jim. You pulled your funding and Vince is gone. Finally, 40 plus years of Vince McMahon gradually and viciously becoming more and more depraved, doing God knows what to how many goddamn women for years and years and years, and he is gone. Money certainly talks, and Vince McMahon finally walked. And now, let's talk about the first event without Vince McMahon or any McMahon in the corporate office. I'm John Renton with my WWE Royal Rumble 2024 review. Let me know your review and your thoughts in the comments, please, because I am fired up to talk about this. Yes, I could have done a SmackDown review if I really wanted to. The reason I didn't is because I had to work a special shift yesterday. I missed some of SmackDown, went back and watched it, and honestly, besides talking about the Vince McMahon stuff, I really didn't care. I really didn't care much about the show. And this show, okay, they had 48,000 people, according to what WWE announced. WrestleTix said it was above 40,000. So, you know what? Let's split the difference and say it was 20,000. I kid. They did have a legit sellout crowd there. There were moments on the show that worked. And then there were moments I just didn't really care about. This was a 4-hour show, or a near 4-hour show with 4 matches. Yes, you had the 2 Rumble matches. You let some stories play out. Maybe somebody will finish their story. I didn't give a fuck about when it first started, but a lot of people do. So anyway, Tropicana Field, St. Petersburg, Florida. It was a Thunderdome location, one of them, and it was the home of the 2021 Royal Rumble. So, kickoff met Heyman, cut a hell of a promo. He mentioned how Roman Reigns smashed and stacked Daniel Bryan and Edge and sent them off, and then Roman received head at the table. Triple H and Kayla asked the crowd if they were ready, and Jackie certainly tried to make that panel work. She certainly did. So, Vince cut out the opening video. Look, there's no doubt that Vince McMahon meant a whole lot to professional wrestling, good, bad, and indifferent. But honestly, the man himself has done a lot of depraved, horrible things pretty much since 1983. He paid off the police so they would stop investigating Jimmy Snuka and a whole bunch of other stuff. That Rita Chatterton stuff suddenly holds a lot more water. Yeah, turns out Vince McMahon really was just a goddamn creepy lump clay face son of a bitch. Go tie yourself to the goddamn railroad tracks, Vince, because besides having all that money, he has no goddamn power. Hopefully they get rid of Bruce Pritchard and other Vince McMahon stooges. So noted and admitted racist Hulk Hogan did the opening video. If you think I'm going to be totally kind to this show, you are totally wrong, because there are good things about this, but WWE needs to clean house with a whole lot of people. Same with AEW. There needs to be a clean house of a lot of really bad people. And I'm not going into tribalism here. I'm going into cleaning up bad people in wrestling regardless. Hulk Hogan, hell of a draw. One of the biggest draws of modern times. And there is no way that he should ever be seen in the best light, because he did admit he was a racist. Sure, he saved somebody from a burning car, brother. So we see the crowd, and people are arriving early, and hey, the Aaron Rodgers enabler, Pat McAfee, who used to actually mean something to professional wrestling, and now, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, he's a piece of shit. And if you do agree with Aaron Rodgers, you have issues, and I really hope you don't homeschool your kids. God forbid if you have children. So that being said, the Women's Royal Rumble, 90-second intervals. I want to say that again, 90-second intervals. And they played around with the 90-second intervals. I didn't time this shit, but it seemed like the 90 seconds went really goddamn quick. Yes, they had a long entranceway, but Jesus. Okay, so I wrote down the list of entrants. So let's just talk about the first 5. So you have Natalya and Naomi, who's amazing. Bring it to the flow. Naomi's back after a stint in Impact, where I saw some of her stuff and she did pretty well. Bayley's number 3. Candice LeRae, Mrs. Personality herself, is there. And Jordan Grace, who apparently is still in TNA. Well, it's now TNA. And she beat Naomi, or Trinity, for the Knockouts Championship. Jordan Grace got a lot of time here, so that's your 5. I do want to say, there were welcome back chants for Naomi. That was really cool. Jordan Grace got a big pop. And it was nice that Natty got to enter her 7th Rumble, I believe tying Owen Hart, if I recall correctly. I think that's the fact that they said. And then the next 5, you have Indy Hartwell, Asuka, Ivy Nile, Katana Chance, and Bianca Belair. So we are a third of the way through, and we have some star power and also Candice LeRae. And Ivy Nile, look, she has strength. She has a good look. She was not ready for this. I had a feeling Damage Control was going to pull a legacy from the 2009 Rumble, and I was not right. There were moments that they really botched in this, and I mean as far as how they set this shit up. So, Bianca got to show off. 3 of Damage Control were in by 11, because Kairi Sane was in. So we got to Kairi Sane, we got to Tegan Nox, Caden Carter, Chelsea Green, and Pippa Niven. Yeah, so we are halfway through this. Halfway through this thing. Tegan got tossed along with Natty. Tegan tossed Natty and then Tegan got tossed. And Kairi and Asuka got taken out. I thought Kairi was reenacting Passion of the Christ there for a second. And Mel Gibson started shouting at Jewish people and any woman that got near him, like he did on camera and, well, on tape, but nevertheless. Bianca and Jordan Grace. Okay, you know what? If this isn't a one-shot thing for Jordan, I wouldn't mind seeing this match at some point. Maybe at a SummerSlam or another premium live event. So, KOD to Grace on the apron. The hardest part of the ring, by the way. I know. Can't believe it either. And then we get to Xia Li. Zelina, who's new with wings. Maxine Dupree. And Crushinator Jax. And then we got Shotzi as well. Let me just say that once Maxine got in there, it literally, that set wrestling back 10 years. I know wrestling's tough. I'm not saying she's not trying. I'm not saying that she's not athletic. I'm not saying she's not putting in the effort. But dear God, Maxine, find something else to do. Do not do this anymore. Be a valet. Just do not do this anymore. Because that was really, really bad. That was really shit. I'm not saying Ivy was that great, but at least Ivy has strength. What does Maxine have? The look of a diva that literally looks like a deer in the headlights. Jim Crockett Jr. looked like less of a deer in headlights when he cut promos. The heavily improved Maxine Dupree. In what universe, Michael Cole? How many edibles or how many drugs did Cole, Graves, and Pat take? I'm genuinely asking because the commentary was so messy to the point I had to tune it out. Nia can't do anything. You sluggish, slimy, slothy piece of shit. You embarrassing trash heap. If only your mother had done the right thing and we wouldn't have to deal with you. And yes, I'm going to be mean here because the only reason she's there is because Dwayne is now part of the TKO board. Which now means Nia's probably going to be around for a while. If she had improved in the ring, fine. She was dropping people on their head. She was botching. She was barely throwing clotheslines on the goddamn rope because she was winded, because she's a goddamn abysmal piece of shit that has no cardio. But she has a superior immune system that'll probably put to the test. Hopefully. God forbid. Brought everything down. This got really, really sloppy. Really, really sloppy, even though there were people trying. Becky got a big pop. So basically the next ones were, after Shotzi, was Becky Lynch, Alba Fire, Shayna Baszler, Valhalla, and Mia Yim. So, Isla should have been in this over Maxine Dupree, because good God. I'm not saying Isla's a world beater, but one, Isla looks good, and two, Isla can do the spooky stuff. And at least it would have given her and Alba something to do. And it would have given Maxine something to do, i.e. not stink it up in the goddamn ring. And I'm sure she's nice, but this was terrible. Then Truth comes out, interrupts Valhalla. And Truth says, wait, you're telling me those are all women? Pierce is like, yes, those are all women. Well, you look different without hair. That's Nick. And then, goddamn Valhalla got eliminated and started yelling at Truth. Because, of course, Miss January 6th, that stinky, barefoot-smelling son of a bitch that really, quite frankly, should not be a mother, shouldn't be allowed to be a mother at all. Anybody like her should not be allowed to be a mother. God damn it, terrible. Terrible. Can't wrestle, can't do anything. She started yelling at Truth. Of course, naturally, she would yell at a minority because people like her always do that. And then the final, we have, we get to number 26, Zoe Stark, who, by the way, was there for the first ever Battle Royal that Roy Shire hosted. Actually, she was there for the first ever Battle Royal that Nick Goulas hosted. What I'm trying to say is Prohibition actually looks at Zoe and says, we aren't even that old. So anyway, Roxanne Perez shows up. And then number 28, A Storm is Coming. Jade is in WWE. There you go. You know who you are. That's what you're getting. Jade gets a big pop. She tosses Nia. I am just sad that Nia didn't land on her goddamn head. I don't care how vicious that sounds. I really don't. There are women that are killing themselves in the goddamn indies. Women that are killing themselves in smaller companies that would just do anything to get the spot that Nia's gotten. And Nia isn't worthy of it. And has never been worthy of it. Has gotten worse. And the near 10 years she's been in wrestling. I don't care if she was out for a couple of years. It's like, still. Tiffany Stratton is number 29. And Liv Morgan, watch her, gets a big old pop. Apparently channeling Christina Aguilera during her dirty face. Stop thinking about it, Kier. I know you're thinking about it. I will turn this show around right now. Stop it. Get some help. So anyway, she looked great, by the way. Naomi was there for over an hour. Good for her. That was good. Bianca and Jade have a brief face-off. That match at SummerSlam, please. Jade versus Nia is probably going to be the likely match they go with, assuming that Nia doesn't injure her like she does with everybody. Becky and Naomi got tossed. Liv, Bayley, and Jade are the last three. There was an Oblivion on the apron, sort of, and then Liv was just, basking in the afterglow after she finished Jade off. Stop thinking about it here. And then Liv got it from behind from Bayley, and that was it. Bayley has won the Women's Royal Rumble. Good. Big pop. That needed more pyro. That celebration needed more pyro. I don't think there was enough pyro used, but seriously, good stuff as far as Bayley winning. The Rumble was a mess once you got Crushinator Jax out there and you got Maxine, you got the women that can't wrestle, that shouldn't be in the goddamn ring at all. There were moments that weren't bad. It wasn't great, but at least Bayley won. So, Orton and Styles make their entrance. LA Knight and Bianca got the Slim Jim deal back because Slim Jim pulled their sponsorship, and then immediately Endeavor was like, Vince, you don't resign, we're going to lose money. And that means you're going to lose money because of your stock and stuff like that. Or whatever it is. The bottom line is Vince was basically forced to resign. Introductions. Roman makes his long entrance. Roman versus Knight versus Styles versus Orton. Of course, 3 Caucasian men were beating down a Samoan man in St. Petersburg, and they didn't react because they're used to seeing it. News at 10. Look, I hope Styles is okay. It seemed like he got hurt. I hope Orton is okay. It seemed like he got hurt. Did I care about this match? No, Roman won. I'm sorry. I honestly, they can do more stuff with Roman to make this reign interesting. Though I kind of hope it does go past Mania. Just because I don't want a certain somebody to win. I want somebody good to win. But it was what it was. Knight had Reigns won, is what Michael Cole said, because the edibles were kicking in. By the way, Solo came in and nearly broke Samantha's leg running through the barricade. Good job there, you sloppy puss. And, there was a spear on Styles. And I think even Reigns was like, are you okay? So, anyway, I do hope both Styles and Orton are hurt, because Orton was favoring his shoulder, and Styles is, 46? Owens and Logan Paul had a match where, look, there was some decent psychology. I will not take anything away from Logan Paul and the effort that he has put into, learning the craft and getting good at it. And he is a natural. The guy's a piece of shit. His parents should be brought up on capital charges. His mother should have done the right thing and taken care of ever having both him and Jake. And the dad should, quite frankly, be castrated. Logan is a piece of shit as a person, scammer with NFTs, the Japanese force, and a whole bunch of other shit, so I don't care how good he actually is in the ring. I hope him and Jake both, end up in an alligator pit. So nevertheless, and by the way, if you actually think that Logan Paul is a decent person, I really don't know if I want to talk to you. But again, really talented as far as what he's done in the ring. And Owens, by the way, did something where they did a convoluted thing with one of the guys from Logan Paul's entourage. By the way, every single person in Logan Paul's entourage deserves to not draw another breath. So whoever this guy Jeff or whatever his name is, yeah, you don't deserve life. Let me just say that. So, nor does anybody in Logan Paul's circle. That includes any family member, because that's a family tree that could stand a little bit of burning down. So, yeah, Theory and Waller showed up. We got a brass knucks spot, and Owens did not take the knucks off of his hand after nailing Logan, and the referee saw them, DQ'd. He got upset. He hit a powerbomb on Logan through the announcer's table, and there you go. So then we get to the men's rumble. I'm going to say right now that this was easily, outside of maybe the final four, and even then, this was one of the weakest rumbles. This was super fucking weak. This wasn't as bad as the 2022 rumble, and there was no Brock, because Brock was apparently named in this whole thing, this Wall Street Journal deal with Vince, and if true, I mean, just go back to what Terry Rouse said about Brock. I don't think we should necessarily be surprised. Sad but true. No wonder he was pissed that Vince McMahon was ousted from power, because he's probably like, oh shit, I'm going to get exposed. You could have just not been a creep, you F5 and son of a bitch. So we got Jay and Jim Uso at 1 and 2. So Jay turned it into St. Yeetersburg. I will pause now for everybody to shut off the review, and now I will continue. So I think it was 89 or 90 that Axe and Smash did the 1 and 2 thing. My memory's a little bit fuzzy, so I apologize if I forget. Well, oh, that's right. No, it would have been 89, because number 1 was Ted DiBiase, after being number 30 in 89. That's right. So, yeah, the Usos start out. Look, we're getting that match at Mania. I don't think there's any doubt. So, Jay and Jim Uso, Grayson Waller, Andrade El Olio, and Carmelo Hayes, who is him. Girls! Anybody who gets that, I love you guys. Grayson has a mic. He cuts a bit of a promo. Andrade got a big pop. And Carmelo Hayes comes out at 5. And fine, okay, so far, so 5 members in the ring. Nakamura, Santos, Karrion Kross, Dominic, and Carlito. Okay, they are just not bringing out. They're not even bringing out guns that the Von Erichs would put in their hands. So anyway, this was dragging. Santos and Andrade having a feud is what I know. Lashley at number 11. Thank God we have an athlete in the ring. AOP shows up. Lashley gets eliminated by Kross, who they might as well write off this Final Testament thing. And then the Profits show up, and we will see you right now for the current Royal Rumble. Overbooked nonsense. This is not good. Cody is at 15. So basically, we had Lashley, Kaiser, Theory, Balor, and we got to Cody Rhodes. Okay, we got some star power. I mean, maybe not to me, but we got some star power. So Cody comes in. Here comes Bronson. He tangles with Andrade Olio and eliminates him. Kofi Kingston, Gunther, Thivar, and Steiner, the young Steiner, Braun Breaksteiner is here. And at least he picked up the energy. I mean, Kaiser. Gunther did too. This was badly paced. This was badly set up. I mean, they front-loaded it with every single enhancement talent. Outside of like one return by Andrade, there are a few people that could be quantified as stars, but I don't know. So let's see. We get Cody and Gunther facing off. Steiner comes in. He eliminates 2. That was nice. You know what? If they want to have Steiner versus Gunther at Mania, have that rematch after they had a match on NXT at some point, I think I'd be all for it. But number 21, Edward James Olmos. Why? What has he done to improve? What has he done to, get featured at all? I know that he's apparently a really nice guy from what I've heard, at least. And I mean, I'm sure that he's trying. It's like an oak tree with Dutch elm disease that got sentience. He can't do anything. And then Pat McAfee comes in the ring. I'm imagining this is probably Brock's spot. Pat does some comedy and eliminates himself. Go back to interviewing Aaron Rodgers, you idiot. I really, quite frankly, hope that ESPN pulls his show. I really hope they do. So, JD McDonough and R-Truth come in. JD got eliminated. R-Truth threw him back in the ring, and JD got eliminated again. And then Miz shows up at number 25. So let's see what we're doing here. Yeah, Jey Uso has just been taking a nap in the goddamn middle or in the corner there for a bit. And Jimmy got eliminated at some point, I think around number 20 or 21. I don't really care at this point. So then Priest comes in at 26. Punk at 27. Ricochet, the one and only, at number 28. Drew McIntyre, 29. Sami Zayn coming out to a pop. So the final 6, and I'm just going to take care of that right there. That's it for that, because I'm not going to look at that list again. Sammy, Priest, Punk, Gunther, Cody, and Drew are the final 6. Not the SmackDown 6. They're just the gas 6. Yes, Punk was gassed. I'm not surprised. The man is in his mid-40s. Yes, there are people in their mid-40s that aren't that gassed, but there are some that are younger than that are still gassed. So Sammy eliminates Priest. Drew eliminates Sammy. We're down to the final 4. There were moments in this that I didn't mind, but this was a near 4-hour show again with 4 matches. There's nothing wrong with letting stories breathe. They could have wrapped this up in 3 hours. Yes, you have to get that sweet sponsorship dollar, but goddamn. Yes, it's one of the big 4. But that doesn't mean you need to go with 4 big matches. And again, if they had had a 5th or 6th, we would have still been all night. We would have been there all night. They were rushing these entries, is what I noticed. They were cutting down some of them in 60 seconds, or at least it seemed like it, or maybe that was just my hope. And then Gunther and Drew again, maybe at Mania, who knows. Punk eliminates Drew, and then Drew and Cody go back and forth and back and forth. They hit their finishes, they sell, they do stuff, and then suddenly Punk gets eliminated by Cody. So Punk will probably win the Elimination Chamber, go on to face Seth Pheasant Rollins, who hopefully will be all right in time for Mania. Punk will get to main event, Mania Night 1, and then it'll be Cody and Drew. Cody and Drew actually would probably be more interesting because I could cheer for Drew. But Cody and Roman. I didn't care about it the first time. I'm not going to care about it this time. You know what? If Cody doesn't win, he's really going to look stupid. But even if he does win, I'm still not going to fucking care. I'm sorry, guys, but just there were moments in the show, throughout the show, that I didn't mind. But a lot of it was overbooked. That men's rumble was 50-50 at best. So all I got to say is, by the time we get to Mania, I will then figure out what I'm going to do as far as regular wrestling reviews. Because maybe it's just because I had to work a long shift today. Maybe it's just because that event dragged on forever. But there were moments where I'm like, really? Seriously? That's what we're fucking doing? Let me know your there were, again, moments. What were your favorite moments? What were your least favorite moments? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. Yeah, finish your story, Cody. Finish it. Or actually lose in front of your wife and kid again. That was funny. This is all Brandy's fault. See you soon.